On May 2, 2011, Operation Neptune Spear, the mission to capture or kill Osama bin Laden, who orchestrated the September 11, 2001 terrorist attacks on the United States, took place. United States Navy SEALs from SEAL Team 6, also known as DEVGRU, carried out the operation. How were they able to capture him? Where was Osama bin Laden found? Is he dead? What exactly happened on May 2, 2011? The mission, called Operation Neptune Spear, was led by the CIA and coordinated by the Joint Special Operations Command, JSOC. SEAL Team 6 took part in the raid, along with other units under JSOC, including the 160th Special Operations Aviation Regiment Airborne, known as the Night Stalkers, and the CIA's Special Activities Division, which recruits many former JSOC members. The raid, which was authorized by U.S. President Barack Obama, involved 24 Navy SEALs flying in 2 Black Hawk helicopters. It started from a base about 120 miles away in Afghanistan, where U.S. forces were located. Abbottabad is the capital of Abbottabad District in the Hazara region of eastern Khyber Pakhtunkhwa, Pakistan. It is a city near Pakistan's capital, Islamabad, where bin Laden was found in a fortified compound. The search for bin Laden began with different accounts of how U.S. intelligence found him. According to the White House and CIA Director John Brennan, it started with a small piece of information in 2002, leading to years of investigation. By September 2010, this information helped them track a courier to the Abbottabad compound, where they began intensive surveillance. However, journalist Seymour Hersh and NBC News reported that a Pakistani intelligence officer told the U.S. where bin Laden was being held by the Pakistani intelligence service in exchange for a reward. In earlier accounts, CIA interrogators focused on identifying al-Qaeda couriers at black sites in Guantanamo Bay, believing bin Laden used them to conceal his whereabouts after ceasing phone communication in 1998. By 2002, a courier known as Abu Ahmed al-Kuwaiti emerged in interrogation reports linked to al-Qaeda's core by detainees like Mohammed al-Qahtani. In 2004, Hassan Ghul disclosed that bin Laden relied on a trusted courier named al-Kuwaiti, who was close to key figures in the organization. Ghul's revelation that al-Kuwaiti had vanished sparked suspicion he was with bin Laden. Despite claims by Khalid Sheikh Mohammed and Abu Faraj al-Libi minimizing al-Kuwaiti's role, U.S. officials considered him part of bin Laden's inner circle. In 2007, officials discovered al-Kuwaiti's real name, Ibrahim Saeed Ahmed, but kept the source undisclosed. Pakistani authorities later identified him as a resident of Swat Valley. His brother Abrar and their families also lived with him at bin Laden's compound. The name Maulawi Abdal Khalik Jan, mentioned in leaked documents tied to Abu Faraj al-Libi, was doubted by the CIA as potentially fabricated. In 2010, intercepting a conversation with al-Kuwaiti led CIA operatives to track him to the Abbottabad compound, suspecting it as bin Laden's hideout. During the May 2, 2011 raid, both al-Kuwaiti and a relative, either a brother or cousin, were killed, identified by locals as Pashtuns named Arshad and Tariq Khan. The CIA, using surveillance photos and intelligence reports, had identified the inhabitants of the Abbottabad compound. By September 2010, they concluded it was likely housing bin Laden, accompanied by his youngest wife and family. Situated about 4.0 kilometers northeast of Abbottabad's center, the compound was constructed around 2004 and not present on satellite images before 2001. It featured a 3.7 to 5.5 meter concrete wall with barbed wire, 2 security gates, and a third-floor balcony concealed by a 2.1 meter privacy wall, sufficient to hide bin Laden, who stood at 1.93 meters tall. The compound lacked internet and landline services, with residents burning their refuse rather than using local collection. Locals referred to it as the Waziristan Haveli, associating its owner with Waziristan. The CIA extensively surveilled the compound, assisted by agencies like NSA, NGA, ODNI, and DoD. They rented a nearby house for observation, utilizing informants and unconventional methods such as a fake vaccination program. This operation incurred significant costs, prompting a request for additional funds in late 2010. NGA contributed detailed mission simulations and 3D models, while NSA's tailored access operations aided with spyware installation. The compound's layout provided multiple surveillance angles, pivotal in its identification, per a former CIA official. But why was this mission named Operation Neptune Spear? It's because of the trident symbol, which was found on the U.S. Navy's Special Warfare insignia. Furthermore, the Associated Press reported that the U.S. operation aimed to capture or kill, emphasizing no targeting of unarmed individuals seeking surrender, though it was clear those in the compound did not intend to surrender. John O. Brennan, White House counterterrorism advisor, stated readiness to capture bin Laden alive if possible without threat. CIA Director Leon Panetta confirmed the mission's focus on killing bin Laden, but expressed willingness to capture him if surrendered safely. U.S. officials confirmed anonymously the mission's intent to kill bin Laden, with SEALs reportedly reacting positively to this directive. Vice Admiral William H. McRaven, briefed by the CIA in January 2011, favored straightforward, specialist-led operations like the raid on bin Laden's compound. Legal and operational options, including stealth bombers and joint operations with Pakistan, were considered but ultimately bypassed due to concerns about operational security. President Obama decided against involving Pakistani forces, wary of their ability to maintain secrecy. The CIA couldn't confirm an underground bunker, halting a bombing plan due to potential civilian casualties. Obama directed Admiral McRaven to plan a helicopter raid, with consideration given to using a drone. DEVGRU's Red Squadron, experienced in cross-border operations, was selected for the mission. The raid planning included drills at 2 U.S. locations. First, around April 10th at Harvey Point Defense testing activity in North Carolina, featuring a replica of bin Laden's compound. Later, on April 18th in Nevada at 1,200 meters elevation to simulate helicopter performance at high altitude. The Nevada mock-up used chain-link fences, unlike the actual compound's taller walls. The mission expected no resistance from Pakistan's military. Modified Black Hawk helicopters, chosen for stealth, minimized radar detection. Contingency plans included bin Laden's detention near Bagram Air Base if he surrendered, or negotiation with Pakistani forces if discovered during the raid. Admiral Mike Mullen and General Ashfaq Parvez Kayani were key contacts for such scenarios. Obama provisionally approved the raid on April 19th, instructing Admiral McRaven to prepare for potential self-defense needs. SEALs trained at a full-scale replica at Camp Alpha in Afghanistan's Bagram. On April 28th, final plans were briefed to the National Security Council, including backup Chinook helicopters and troops. Most advisors supported proceeding, despite Vice President Joe Biden's concerns about Pakistani complications, which focused on considerations rather than opposition. Defense Secretary Gates initially favored drone strikes but backed the raid plan. Obama spoke directly with Admiral McRaven, who assured him of readiness and optimal raid conditions. Obama approved the raid on April 29th, delayed one day due to weather, and called McRaven on April 30th to wish success. That evening, despite awareness of the mission, he attended the White House Correspondents Association dinner and humorously speculated about bin Laden's whereabouts. On May 1st at 1:22 p.m., Panetta, acting on Obama's orders, instructed McRaven to proceed with the operation. By 3 p.m., Obama joined national security officials in the Situation Room to monitor the raid through night vision footage from a Sentinel drone. Panetta provided live updates from CIA headquarters, while Brigadier General Marshall Webb operated a laptop displaying the drone feed. Secretary of State Hillary Clinton was present and later described the tension and uncertainty in the room. According to Admiral McRaven, just before the mission commenced, Command Sergeant Major Chris Ferris rallied the SEALs with the motto of the British SAS, "Who dares wins." The raid involved around 24 U.S. Navy SEALs from DEVGRU's Red Squadron. To comply with legal requirements because the U.S. was not formally at war with Pakistan, the military personnel were temporarily under the command of the Civilian Central Intelligence Agency, CIA. The SEALs operated in teams and used various weapons, including the HK-416 assault rifle as their main weapon, the Mark 48 machine gun for support, and the MP-7 personal defense weapon for close quarters combat and reduced noise. A total of 79 commandos and a dog participated in the raid. The military working dog was a Belgian Malinois named Cairo, trained to track escape attempts and alert SEALs to approaching Pakistani security forces. Cairo also assisted in searching for hidden rooms or doors within the compound. Other mission personnel included a language interpreter, the dog's handler, helicopter pilots, intelligence collectors, and navigators using advanced hyperspectral imagers for surveillance. The SEALs flew into Pakistan from Jalalabad, Afghanistan, starting from Bagram Air Base. The 160th Special Operations Aviation Regiment, SOAR, known as the Night Stalkers, provided the modified Black Hawk helicopters used in the raid, along with larger Chinook helicopters as backups. These Black Hawks were special stealth versions designed to operate quietly and evade radar detection, though the extra equipment for stealth meant precise cargo calculations, considering weather conditions were crucial. The Chinook helicopters were stationed in a remote area midway between Jalalabad and Abbottabad, ready to act as a quick reaction force, QRF, with approximately 24 DEVGRU operators on board. These Chinooks were armed with 7.62 mm GAU-17A miniguns and GAU-21B.50 caliber machine guns and carried extra fuel for the Black Hawks. Their primary role was to prevent any Pakistani military interference during the raid. Additional Chinooks, holding 25 more SEALs from DEVGRU, were positioned just across the Afghan border in case reinforcements were required. The 160th SOAR helicopters were supported by a variety of other aircraft, including fixed-wing fighter jets and drones. Combat search and rescue helicopters from the Air Force were also on standby. The raid was planned for a night with minimal moonlight to allow the helicopters to approach Pakistan low to the ground and undetected. They used terrain-hugging flight techniques to avoid radar detection and potential alerting of Pakistani forces. The flight from Jalalabad to Abbottabad lasted about 90 minutes. According to the mission plan, the first helicopter would hover over the compound's yard while SEALs descended using fast ropes. Simultaneously, the second helicopter would head to the northeast corner of the compound, deploying an interpreter, a dog with his handler, and 4 SEALs to secure the perimeter. The team in the courtyard would then enter the house through the ground floor. During the operation, the first helicopter encountered a dangerous aerodynamic condition called a vortex ring state, exacerbated by high air temperatures and the tall compound walls that blocked the rotor's downward airflow. The helicopter's tail brushed against one of the walls, damaging its tail rotor, causing it to tilt to a 45-degree angle upon landing. The pilot managed to stabilize the helicopter, preventing a more severe crash. Fortunately, none of the SEALs, crew, or pilots sustained serious injuries. Meanwhile, the second helicopter landed outside the compound, and the SEALs scaled the walls to enter the building. Inside the compound, a group of SEALs approached the guest house, where one of Osama bin Laden's couriers resided. Finding the door locked, they were about to blast it open when gunfire erupted from inside. The SEALs responded with gunfire of their own. Moments later, the door opened, and a woman emerged, holding a child, followed by several other children. Behind her lay dead Abu Ahmad al-Kuwaiti, bin Laden's main courier. During the exchange, bullet fragments from the firefight got embedded in the handle of a pair of bolt cutters carried in one SEAL's backpack. One of the U.S. Navy SEAL Team 6 said, "When I personally got around to the front side of the main house, one of my guys said, 'I shot one of the guys, his wife jumped in the middle of it, and I shot her.' And it kind of occurred to me, well, they're trying to martyr themselves to save their husbands. Something big is here." However, in the main building, SEALs killed the second courier and his wife on the first floor, and bin Laden's son, Khalid, who was armed, on the second floor landing. On the third floor, SEALs found bin Laden in his bedroom wearing a loose-fitting local outfit called a kurta pajama. He was unarmed, but had 500 euros and 2 phone numbers sewn into his clothing. As the SEALs approached, bin Laden looked through his bedroom door. The lead SEAL fired at him, hitting him in the body and head. Nearby were some of bin Laden's female relatives. One wife, Amal Ahmed Abdul Fattah, made a gesture towards the SEALs and was shot in the leg before being moved aside. Robert J. O'Neill, another SEAL, entered the room and shot bin Laden, who was standing behind a woman with his hands on her shoulders, twice in the forehead. Another account by Bissonnette suggests bin Laden was already wounded when SEALs entered the room and fired multiple rounds, killing him. Bin Laden was shot with an HK-416 using 5.56 mm NATO rounds. The SEAL team leader radioed Geronimo, 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 and confirmed Geronimo EKIA, which means enemy killed in action. The house was enveloped in darkness as CIA operatives had cut the power to the neighborhood. U.S. military personnel equipped with night vision goggles navigated the darkened interior, seizing documents, electronics, and other items for intelligence purposes following Osama bin Laden's demise. A backup helicopter arrived. prompting the SEALs to demolish the disabled aircraft to safeguard its stealth technology. Meanwhile, local residents gathered outside the compound, and Pakistani authorities initiated a response to the nocturnal disruption. President Obama, watching in the Situation Room, remarked, "We got him." Obama also said at the time, "For us to be able to definitively say, we got the man who caused thousands of deaths here in the United States and who had been the rallying point for a violent extremist jihad around the world, was something that I think all of us were profoundly grateful to be a part of." Bin Laden had an AKS-74U carbine and a Makarov pistol in his room, but he was shot before he could reach them. During the raid, SEALs restrained encountered women and children with plastic handcuffs or zip ties. Surviving residents were moved outside for Pakistani forces to secure, and Bin Laden's wife continued arguing with the raiders in Arabic, while his daughter was reportedly injured by debris. While the bodies of the other 4 killed were left behind and later handed over to Pakistani authorities, whereas in Afghanistan, officials used DNA analysis and fingerprints to identify Bin Laden. Facial recognition technology, along with biometric data, further validated his identity. After approximately 45 minutes on site, the SEALs departed via helicopter, carrying the collected materials and Bin Laden's remains with them. American forces transported Bin Laden's body to the USS Carl Vinson, an aircraft carrier stationed in the Arabian Sea. Following religious ceremonies, Osama bin Laden was buried at sea to prevent his grave from becoming a place of pilgrimage for his supporters. Following the American raid and bin Laden's killing, the Pakistani government demolished the compound in February 2012. So this is it, my folks. I hope you enjoyed watching today's video. Let us know what your thoughts are about this intense story in the comments. If you love war stories like these, make sure to subscribe to our channel and leave this video a like if you enjoyed it. Till then, take care of yourself. See you in our next video.